So, Pat, would you state what your name is and who you work for? That would be great.
My name is Pat Waters, and I currently work for Procore Technologies.
Terrific. And where in your life have you allowed fear to limit your opportunities?
It limited what I did in school for a while, the activities I wanted to get into, and or the college. I think my college choice was a big limiter that I allowed to let happen, and I course corrected on that mistake. But that I allowed some limitations, mainly around the education and belief in myself.
Terrific. What do you think is the greatest contributor or contribution to your success?
Realizing that I control my own narrative, that so many people when I was growing up would judge my family. I have a learning disability. I'm an introvert. Um, had some rough times with my siblings. Lost a sibling from drug overdose. So when you grow up in a very chaotic, large family, not not allowing someone to put you in a box and a label became a driving force for me. And then realizing that I had my own scorecard. I didn't need your scorecard. I had my own. And that mattered more to me as a compass over time as I aged. And I'm so grateful I found it early enough that it became a springboard for many things.
And if you could wave a magic wand, what would happen in the workplace for you to feel that you have left a lasting legacy?
For people to be authentically human and vulnerable and caring and appreciative of each other and lean into what's different about each other, not just seek what makes us the same, and grow from that experience and realize that it's in our differences that magic happens. It slows us down, I get it, but it makes me better for having gone through that journey.
Love
I'd love for that to happen in the world.
it. Yeah, that's great. Looking 3 years down the road, what is your vision for the future for yourself? And of course, that means your career.
Continue to have an impact. I want to leave the world better for having lived in it. I want to impact the lives that I get to nurture every day. I want them to feel better for having spent time with me and feel more confident in where they're going, that I gave them a lift, a spark, courage. I have frozen from time to time from mistakes in my career, and learning how to pick myself up, realizing that mistake didn't define me, realizing that your next step could actually change the trajectory of people's lives for good. Isn't it worth the risk? I want people to think about it's worth the risk.
Amen to that. I have a great acronym for RISK, which is to respect your intention and show courage. And I think that's
Yeah,
really what it's all about. So that's
it
great.
is.
Yeah.
When I screw up, it's my purpose that drives me. I say all the time I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm going to mess up and I'm going to probably offend somebody or hurt somebody unintentionally. Let me learn through that experience.
Mm.
Um, I know that if I let it freeze me, that the companies and employees I serve would be less well off. They need a champion, they need an advocate.
Yeah. So clearly you're very fearless. And, like all of us, and as I say, being fearless is not the absence of fear, but it's the courage to take that next step. And you are fearless. And when I wrote to you originally, I said, no question in my mind, you're a fearless woman. And there it is. You've just stated that very well. So in one word, what is your fearless factor? Or even 2 or 3 words, but give me an idea of what do you consider to be your fearless factor?
I'm meant to make the world better.
Okay.
I think I was created for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I put my hand up on that one too, because I think that's why I was created too. So that's why the fearless
Good.
piece is so important. It's really, really important. So is there anything else you'd like to add to this conversation today, Pat?
I think for fearlessness, one has to pause and realize the impact of that second step they just took,
Mhm.
really reflect on that, absorb it in their DNA. So the next time they have to take that next step, it's with less hesitation. Not that hesitation goes away, but there's less hesitation, less time, less angst in that step. And you hold the mantra in front of you. I actually wrote my purpose on a whiteboard in a prior gig because I was pushing so many hard things up a hill that I had to remind myself why it mattered.
Mm, yeah.
I hope people find their formula to remind themselves of why that next step matters and how to measure that because I think it's worth it.
Well, you embodied the innate needs of every human being, which is the need for belonging, the need for empowerment, and the need for meaning and purpose. That's really the three key things that every single one of us need in our lives. And when you're living up to that, and you clearly are, uh, then you are making a difference, and you're also living fully in yourself. And that I think is really a key piece of this, which is very exciting. I mean, for me, I wish there were more people who were able to grasp this concept and get out of their own way. Because as you know, too many people get in their own way with regards to this. So it's exciting. And so, there we are. But, I'm hoping that my books make a difference and that they inspire and motivate other people to, if she can do it, so can I. And that's really the way I like to position it. So I'm really grateful that you took the time for this today.
Jacqueline, I want to commend you. There's back in 2016 when I was discovering the value and the power of belonging, I also discovered uncertainty and certainty and the human condition, what drives uncertainty and the cost of that has on the human condition. And the power of a story to shorten that moment of uncertainty, make it less painful, shallower in feeling, right?
Yeah.
And give us courage to take that next step and stay in the game, have more grit. What you do is create those stories to create the grit, the confidence, the fearlessness to take that next step. So it's through those stories that you will make a change in the world. And for that, I'm grateful. And it was well worth my time to pick up that email, to carve out time. I think what you do makes a difference. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Donnie. I really, truly appreciate that.